There is a big-time lack of diversity.
It was the talk of the town today.
Today, we see that while we love the Academy doesn't seem to love us.
The issue around race and representation has been an issue in Hollywood films and television shows for decades. The 2015 Academy Awards, officially and popularly known as the Oscars, announced their nominations, which resulted in howls of protest for their lack of diversity in those actors nominated. Many Hollywood actors, such as Jada Pinkett Smith, were very vocal in regard to their disappointment at the Oscar nominations. This ignited the conversation online and brought the issue to mainstream media. The hashtag #OscarsSoWhite started trending on Twitter, mostly focused on the acting and directing categories, mostly due to the omission of actor David Oyelowo and director Ava DuVernay from Selma.
Well, you know, representation in cinema and in movies is just key, and in television as well. I mean, we should have images that reflect the real world. It's really simple. So, you know, all of the heroes in films shouldn't look one way. They shouldn't all be boys. They shouldn't all be Caucasian boys. They should be girls. They should be girls of color. There should be all kinds of girls. There should be all kinds of boys. You just want everyone to see themselves.
Ava DuVernay pushes the conversation forward with the point that diversity isn't simply about representation. It requires a commitment of cultivating a culture of belonging. Superhero movies have been around for decades, and they remain popular even today around the world. Superhero movies, like many other movies, display race and gender in a specific way, which produce whiteness. Whiteness can be produced in superhero movies through the ideas of who the superhero is, who the villain is, and through the cast who plays the many supporting characters in superhero movies. I've analyzed the top 12 grossing superhero movies of all time, which range from the early 2000s to present day. The top 12 grossing superhero movies are Spider-Man, Captain America: Civil War, Iron Man 3, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, The Dark Knight Rises, Avengers: Age of Ultron, The Dark Knight, Marvel's The Avengers, Avengers: Infinity War, Black Panther, and Avengers: Endgame. I watched each movie in the order that they were released and analyzed the characters in each movie, and specifically paid attention to how race and gender was represented. Spider-Man centers around a high school student named Peter Parker who is bitten by a genetically altered spider, which results in him gaining superhuman strength and spider-like abilities. He used his new powers to fight crime. Out of all of the movies, Spider-Man had the least amount of diversity in regard to the cast and storyline. Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, his best friend Harry Osborn, his love interest Mary Jane, and villain Norman Osborn, also known as Green Goblin, were all white. There are a few minor black characters and several minorities as background actors. However, their characters did not contribute to the storyline. Mary Jane, the main female character, was depicted as the damsel in distress who needed to be saved by Spider-Man from the Green Goblin. Mary Jane's importance in regard to Spider-Man's motives is downplayed, and she is simply depicted as a beautiful trophy. In both The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, the superhero Batman, played by a white actor, helps to fight crime in Gotham City. In The Dark Knight, Batman must save Gotham City from the Joker, and in The Dark Knight Rises, Batman must save Gotham City from a terrorist named Bane. When looking at both The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, it is apparent that some stereotypes of race are present. For example, in The Dark Knight, there is a scene where there are two boats full of people who are trying to get out of town. One boat is full of prisoners, and the other is full of innocent civilians. When looking at the individuals on the boats, there is a diverse group of people on each boat. However, when zeroing in on the people on the boat with innocent civilians, the focus is on a white male. Unfortunately, when focus is on the boat filled with prisoners, the focus is undeniably on a black man. This plays into the stereotype that black individuals are more likely to be in prison than a white person. In the third installment of the Iron Man series, Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, is now more dependent on his suit, which gives him the Iron Man persona. The story is based on the events that occur after Mandarin destroys Iron Man's world to rubble, and which results in Tony Stark needing to protect the people he loves. Many viewers of Iron Man 3 were unhappy because it was felt that the villain Mandarin depicted Pakistan in a negative light. The Mandarin broadcasts in the movie were shown to originate in Pakistan, and this displayed a stereotypical narrative of Muslim people as being terrorists. In Captain America: Civil War, tensions arise as Captain America feels that superheroes should be able to defend humanity without government interference. However, Iron Man disagrees. As this disagreement escalates into an all-out feud, Black Widow and Hawkeye have to pick sides. Black Panther and T'Chaka appear in Captain America: Civil War and are seen speaking in their Wakanda language. However, subtitles are not provided. This is an example of othering because this depicts that Wakanda people as intrinsically different from others in the movie and the viewers of the movie. Sam Wilson is a black character also known as Falcon. Falcon is a superhero who is both a friend of Captain America and also someone who works alongside him. Falcon is a character that both respects and admires Captain America. It is apparent that Sam Wilson's Falcon is a supporting character to Captain America and is more of a sidekick than an equal. Before she was Wonder Woman, she was Diana, Princess of the Amazons. She was raised on a hidden island with Amazon warriors. Diana meets Steve Trevor, who is a pilot who has crash-landed on the island and is the first man Diana has ever met. This intriguing pilot tells Diana about the outside world and the terrible war being fought. Diana is convinced she can end the war. She leaves the island with the pilot and fights men in a war to end all wars. During the war, Diana discovers her powers and destiny. Although the movie Wonder Woman had a female lead, there are some problems that arise regarding race and gender. There is no one of color of importance in the movie. There are ethnic Amazon warriors, but none of them are more powerful than the white Amazon warriors. The first black female we are introduced to is Diana's caretaker, who portrays a mammy-like type character, which is literally a person who exists to take care of others, usually white people. It is disappointing for many female moviegoers that ideologies in regard to feminism and race took a back seat to gender equality in this film. In 2018, the movie Black Panther was released and has been praised for having a predominantly all-black cast. The movie Black Panther was revolutionary for many movie watchers as it was the first superhero movie that they saw with a full cast of black heroes, both men and women. This is a very important distinction because in general, non-white individuals have a very difficult time finding representation of themselves in mass media. Another reason why the Black Panther movie has been so significant is because it accurately depicts what it means to be Black in America and Africa, and more importantly, in the world. It depicts issues affecting modern-day Black lives. The Black Panther movie and its amazing success has been very gratifying and has inspired this project because this superhero movie has broken many barriers and has nevertheless experienced unprecedented success around the world. In Captain Marvel, the main character is Carol Danvers, who is the superhero Captain Marvel. She finds herself caught in the middle of an intergalactic battle between the Kree and the Skrulls. With the help of Nick Fury, Captain Marvel tries to uncover the secrets of her past while harnessing her powers to end the war with the Skrulls. Nick Fury is a character played by a Black actor who appears in many Marvel movies. However, his character gets more screen time in Captain Marvel than in other movies. This is welcomed by fans as there are generally very few characters of color in Marvel movies. There are some additional Black characters who have minor roles in this movie. However, they do not have any major importance to the storyline. Maria Rambeau, played by a Black actress, is a character who is Carol Danvers' best friend. This character does not appear until halfway through the movie and is in the movie solely to serve and help Carol Danvers. This is very stereotypical of the relationship between whites and blacks. Throughout the Avengers films, there were many characters who are white and many characters who are Black. The main characters in the Avengers films are predominantly white, and they get more screen time than the Black characters who appear to be in the movie to support and help the main white characters. For example, War Machine is Iron Man's friend and is often seen helping Iron Man. Also, Sam Wilson is Captain America's friend who always helps Captain America. Both War Machine and Sam Wilson are supporting characters played by Black actors and are there to support and assist the main superheroes in these movies. While there are other ethnic characters in these movies, their roles and significance in the movies are small. Overall, the 12 superhero movies I watched have shown that there have been some changes in how both gender and race are depicted in these types of movies. Progress has been made, especially when one considers the amazing success of Black Panther. However, this should not be expected to be the norm because superhero movies can go back to the stereotypical portrayal of superheroes, which are white men. Progress has been made for both women and non-white actors. However, social pressures should be maintained to ensure progress continues in regard to future superhero movies.